111 Osei Kufuor. I'm back at y'all again. I'm gonna take my time today because as so-called black people, we tend to like to claim things that we do not know the frequency of. I'm not gonna say the history. I'm gonna say the frequency because every time you claim frequency that is not created by you, then what you are doing is you are digesting something that is not conducive to your spiritual DNA. Now, we like to call ourselves Africans. I've come up through that lineage where, I was proud of being an African. I'm black and I'm proud, black power and all of that. But to say that we are Africans is very ignorant to say. Why do I say that? The word Africa itself is only a few hundred years old. And if we are spiritual people, and if we claim to be the oldest beings in the universe, then why would we accept to claim something that is only 100 years, couple hundred years old? Doesn't make sense. Now, the reason why I'm gonna take my time today is because sometimes when I'm moving too fast, I tend to skip all over the place. So I'm gonna start here. When you say that you are an African, I need someone to tell me the person who brought that word Africa into existence. And don't say Africanus, because it wasn't us. We didn't create history. The same history that we are fighting over today, that's not our history. We love to say that we are the natives. We love to say we need to go back home to Africa. I was at that point at one time. But why go back to Africa if you are the oldest being in the universe? Africa is 10% of the globe. Is this why you think with 10% of your brain? Because you are unconsciously settling for something that somebody told you in your history books, your oppressor, you were. You are more than an African. We are more than things that were set up in an educational facility that has nothing to do with us. We are the only people that like to connect titles to ourselves that we did not create. I did not create the word Africa. I'm no longer going to consider myself an African. Why do I say that? Because in order for me to consider myself that frequency, I will have to say this is the age of the frequency in which I'm trying to connect myself to this title. I'm older than the word Africa. You all can keep it, but I'm done with it. There's no more titles for me. There's other things going on in the community today. These people, while you are out there screaming Black Power, are playing on your brain frequency. They are keeping you sidetracked with things that they created for you to fight over, which has nothing to do with you at all. Why would you fight over a physical title when you are not a physical being? It doesn't make sense. We claim to be spiritual, even in the so-called conscious community. We claim to be spiritual, but yet we run around all day in this black power. What is black? Who came up with the word black? Who was the person who came up with the name black? It wasn't you. They didn't look like you. But because a government gave permission to a group of people who you call leaders who look like you to scream black power because that was the agenda, you follow it. How can you be spiritual See, spiritual components do not connect titles to themselves. When you study nature, that's spirituality. And the only reason why birds and bears are called birds and bears is because we gave them that name. They don't claim that. We claiming that for them. Did you know that the frequency that you carry within your force field, the information that you put into your force field, don't you know that the animals can pick that information up? And depending upon the information that you are carrying in your force field, this is how they react to you. They don't run from you because they are in fear. They don't know what fear is. They run from you because you are distributing something from within your force field that is not natural to their environment. Nature is more natural than you. You're supposed to be nature, but yet you claiming something that man created. I don't give a damn if a black person created the word Africa. Why would you still carry that title? If a black man created the word Africa, I wouldn't carry it. Because the same black man who came here in a human form to create that word Africa has a destiny just like me. All of us carry a story in our soul. All of us carry a story within our DNA. And this is how they create their movies in Hollywood. They can go right into your DNA and take everything that you've been traveling from dimension to dimension or from life to life. They can take all of the information that you've been picking up and create a movie out of your DNA, which is a carrier of information. Information travels with you from body to body. So when we're talking about who we are, again, why do we have to be somebody? I was on a subject with a person this morning who said that the continent of Africa and Asia are the two biggest continents. Says who? That's a waste of time to try to figure out which continent is bigger when continents don't even exist. Africa don't even exist. Asia don't even exist. The only reason why it exists is because somebody taught it to you. And if it was taught to you, that means that you're not thinking for yourself. So how can you be spiritual and not thinking for yourself? Spiritual things think for themselves. See, we have to eliminate the things that are being taught to us by physical components. You are already placed here in this life with everything already pre-encoded in you that you need. You don't need nothing else. Even without a book, you can make it. And for you to say that, well, we need books to survive. Well, answer this question. How come a bird don't read books? Where does it get its information from? How does a bird know how to survive? They don't have a book on survival. They don't have a book on economics. I don't give a damn how many black schools we get. I don't care how many black banks we get. That's not liberation. Because that will only sustain and cater to that which is your self-esteem. This is why a lot of so-called black people have to be connected to something, some type of organization, some type of religion, because we are afraid to think for ourselves. The organization is you. You are your own organization. You are your own economic stability. Everybody have their own destiny. My destiny is not Farrakhan's destiny. So I can't march with Farrakhan. My destiny is not Sarnetta's destiny. So I can't act a clown on the corner with him. You have your own destiny. And once you close your book, which is your destiny, to try to jump into somebody else's book to be a part of their destiny, then this is where the negative reactions start to come in. My mother always told me, never eat anything without knowing the ingredients of what's inside of that component. And what we are doing as so-called black people today, because we are so down and psychologically suppressed, depressed, and oppressed, we need something to follow. And in all actuality, you don't need nothing. It's easy to follow something outside of you, but it's more harder to follow that which is inside of you, which is your roadmap, your soul. You are not an African. Africa is a few hundred years old. It's 10% of the globe. So why settle for something so small when you are so big? And this is not to down anybody. Don't take this as a diss. I'm not dissing anybody. I'm not trying to down anyone. But the Nation of Islam, the Moorish Science Temple, the Masonic lodges, Christianity, the churches, the imams, the things of that nature, all of that has a date of beginning. And anything with a date of beginning was created by an inferior mind. See, the universe is a mind. Nature has a mind, but it has no beginning or end. So why would I follow a book that has a beginning, or a religion or organization that has a beginning? Because anything with a beginning has an ending in the physical. We are not this physical body. This shows me how spiritual you are when you try to liberate something by connecting a title to something that you are not. What were you before Africa? Before Africans, what were you? Let's say that 400 years ago, the word Africa came into existence, just to say. What were you? Because I know we've been here more than 400 years. What were you before Africans? What were you before Asians? What were you before natives? Since some of y'all want to claim to be Native Indians, you say we're supposed to be natives. Says who? You didn't say that. Who was the man that told you that you're supposed to be an African? Who was the man that told you you're supposed to be a Moor? Who was the man that told you you're supposed to be a Muslim? Who? We don't have time to be playing or pussyfoot around the bush. Because right now, you have a group of entities who created your history for you that is keeping you sidetracked while they are playing on the energy in your soul. They are trying to stay alive on top of the earth, but you're keeping them alive because you're running around arguing about things that is senseless. It has no purpose. It has no meaning. It has no position to you at all. Before you came out of your mother's womb, let me tell you something. The greatest lesson that you could ever have, or the greatest lesson, or the greatest form that we were in, is when we were in our mother's womb. Why? Because we didn't know nothing. We used common sense when we came out of our mother's womb. We were hungry, we latched onto our mother's breast. We didn't need a book to tell us that in the womb. But now we need a book to tell us who we are, where we come from, how old we are, and we just fighting each other. We all look like fools to nature, and we're supposed to be a part of nature. It's sad, and it's really time to wake up, because there are some things that is about to show itself in public that many of you think is entertainment. Mark my word. It's coming soon, and it's going to appear right in front of your very eyes. I guarantee you. Allah can't save you. Noble Ali can't save you. Farrakhan can't save you. And whoever else that you look up to, instead of looking up to yourself. You keep saying that we are slaves to the white man, but you're a slave to your own people. Don't think just because a black face is screaming black power that is in kinship to you. Because I guarantee you that most of your so-called black leaders, Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, Farrakhan, most of these people were created in laboratories. I don't care what you say, but none of you can prove me wrong. All of these people were sent before you to keep you in order. Most of these people never came from between the legs of a woman. They were created in laboratories as black faces put before you with permission to say that the white man is a devil, with permission to say that the government is doing this or Illuminati is doing that. Keep you sidetracked. The rabbit hole is much deeper than what you think it is. And you better believe it, that there's going to be a lot of things that is going to be appearing in front of your very eyes in just a short while. All of those little wheels you see in the sky that the government is projecting off the satellites, yeah, these are slides that they have in the satellites and they projecting them into the sky. All of the stuff that you're seeing and you marvel at, it ain't nothing compared to what's really coming. I've seen it. I've fought with these people in other parallel universes. Many of you might think I'm crazy, but I say this a lot. I will never carry a conversation with a person who claims to be sane because you're caught up in the matrix. You're going to have to be crazy in order for me to communicate with you. All right? So, let's open our eyes because the things that is going on around us, you have components in your community that is reading information in your DNA, that is traveling into your DNA at 3 a.m. in the morning. Many people can't sleep at 3 a.m. Why? Because it's something that's backing your DNA into a corner to shove your DNA or the information that is being dispelled into your DNA so that you can evolve. There's things attacking you. But because they keep you sidetracked, you can't focus on the things that is attacking you. It's not physical. You're being watched. Not by this little small ass government, but you're being watched. Satellites is not just communicating systems. These things are portal openers to bring other entities from other worlds. And you are being watched. And it's time to start utilizing your thoughts as energy to control energy. Because each and every one of us can control energy if you melanate it, to modify the weather, to close these portals. And you can open up portals and bring in your army of people from other worlds and realms. Sound crazy? You can make people commit suicide. They know this about us. The mammalian part of our brain is the largest. We have mammals in our bloodline that is aliens, that is living under the earth, that you can communicate with. But because you are so conditioned to the housewives and the so-called reality shows, your power is laying dormant. We have powers to tap into certain entities, to certain worlds. We can tap into certain weather. We can create tsunamis. They know this about us. We can open up portals in certain time zones. Because when you study time and space allows you, depending on the way that you think, to be able cross into other realms and dimensions. So with that much said, Osei Kufuor, Black Science TV 111, I'm out. Peace.